Hey guys! So, I was just doing some things. I decided to take a break so I can share with you guys a conversation that I had yesterday. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because I think that there's something that could be learned from this thing. So, um, the things that I share, it's because I think that there are people on different stages of their life. You will find maybe something similar to this, and I wanted it to perhaps help you guys. So, I know a person who has gone through a lot of mental health issues, and while they were going through mental health issues, I was not in Hawaii. So I knew that they were getting treatment, but I didn't know exactly how bad it was because I can only, I was talking through them on the phone sometimes, and I was speaking to them on like text message, but it's really hard to gauge how people's minds are because if you say something like, oh, if you say something, you're not gonna really text message people for hours upon hours and upon hours, and natural conversation face to face is going to be much more smooth than, let's say, text message. Let's be real here, right? So, for instance, right, when you have a conversation in person, people will feel more comfortable. So I caught up with them and I asked them, what's going on? How's your life going? And they had told me that they were stuck in a rut for a really long time. And I said, okay. So they gave me some personal details, and they said that during that time when they were at a low point of their life, people did not talk to them. They were going under, they had some mental issues. And I've been very open with my own mental health issues. I've had depression, I've had anxiety, I've had really pessimistic outlooks on life. And people might think like, oh, Erica, the way you are, you seem kind of upbeat. And maybe it gives off this, maybe some people who don't really know me, or they haven't listened to all my streams, they think that I've just kind of, had my head in la la land. But that's not the case. I've gone through some pretty damn traumatic stuff. And I've always thought of it this way: it can either break you and you never really recover, or you can have a low point. You could spend years trying to get to a place, and then eventually you find that you become stronger and stronger and stronger. And when you see someone hurting, you can take that opportunity and be like, hey, I recognize certain things within you that I saw within me, and I'm going to be there for you because I know how it feels when people aren't there. So I had asked them. I said, well, when you were going through all these mental health issues, I know you told me about it, but I didn't know how bad it was. I thought that they had a good support system. So I thought that they were leaning on other people who are around them. But one thing about mental health is if you're going through a bad time, some people they just leave you for dead. And it's a sad reality. People will have this people can have this natural self-preservation where they could say, it's not my problem. Like, you're messed up. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to just live my life and I don't want to deal with that stuff. I only want to be in your life when it's convenient. And I don't, I think it's very telling. I don't want people like that. I've had instances in my life where people have ignored me and people have said certain things that were very hurtful to me. And when I recovered, when I became stronger, I looked back at those people and I said, you know what? It's a good thing that they left my life because I don't want those people in my life. If anything happens to me, I know I can't depend on those people to help me out. Because again, if you are dealing with depression and anxiety, you have a lot of people who say, it's not convenient for me to stay in your life. I only want to be there when you're up or when you're happy, and that's it. So this person was telling me about a friend that they had in their life for a number of years, and this person was very close. And they said, basically, let's be best friends forever. And let's be there through thick and thin. So they made a promise to each other. And they told me, they said, oh, this person, I thought they were always going to be there for me. And then I got depressed. I had some mental issues. And I said things that I didn't mean to say. I guess, they were not in a mentally healthy place. So I guess they came off to be like, uh, a jerk. And that person was hurt by it. Now, this person being a jerk wasn't only to that one best friend. They did the same behavior to other people. They told a person who was going through a really rough time some really hurtful things. But that person chose to forgive them. They still talk to them, right? And I told them, I said, that person that you said some really bad things to because you were not in a good mental state, hold on to that person. And I remember they were telling me, they said, oh, I feel kind of embarrassed. I don't really want to reach out to them or something along those lines. So I said, you know what? If you want to be like that, if you don't want to reach to this person, I will reach out to this person for you. And they're like, no, 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 Erica, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. I said, no, I really think that person that you hurt, that forgave you, and moving forward, like, you need to reach out to this person more, because first of all, they forgave you. Second of all, you shouldn't let your past hold you back from having a beautiful future with another person. You see where I'm getting? Like, I'm not talking about like romantic relationship. I'm talking like friendship. I'm talking about like bonds with people. And yeah, so I talked to them, and then I encouraged them to do that kind of stuff. But that one best friend, I found out that they had profusely apologized to this person. They had not only apologized, but they called them up, they wrote them letters, and I was like, yeah, that sounds a little bit much, but what happened? And they said, that person still has stuff against me. They only reached out to me when they needed help, but other than that, they don't want to talk to me, Erica. And I said, that tells you what kind of person they are. And I said, look, I understand that was your best friend. I understand that you have a history with them. But keep in mind, you have a history with other people too, right? You have a history with that person that you hurt. You have a history with people who have your back. Why are you spending all this attention on this one person, and you're begging them to basically forgive you? And it's just like they can't, they can't let it go for whatever reason. Like, how is it that so many people can forgive, and I'm not saying forgive and forget, but say, you know what, that the past is in the past, let's move forward. But this one individual, you're spending all your freaking mental energy, you mourn the loss of this person. I completely understand, because I've had people in my life that I still miss in my life. But I look back at it and I say, you know what, it is what it is, kind of thing. Like, I've reached out, you don't want to reach out to me, like, that's okay. But it really saddens me to see this person that I know constantly reach out to this one person, and they're letting their past history with this person blind them. And I asked them, flat out, I said, do you still think that this person is the same person that made that promise to you that they're going to be there with you through thick and thin? And they said, yeah, we really, like, we felt this sense of closeness, and I know it was there. And I said, well, people change. That's the reality of things, right? So I don't know, how they're going to handle it moving forward. But I just, I want to reach out to, I know who this person is, okay? And let me be honest with you guys. Like, this person, in my opinion, they're very good at getting people to like them. But the person, and we'll call the person that they're trying to reach out to, the former best friend, as like former. We'll just call them former, okay? So former is that kind of person where people think, oh, they seem to be really nice. But I notice, because I've met this person several times before, it's like, I don't notice what people say. I notice about how they treat people that they don't have to treat well. And I remember thinking to myself, I was like, I think they're pretty disrespectful. But what can I say? Some people, they're just very good at speaking to people, but they're not good so much at, how would I say this, like, caring for people outside of their circle. So I kind of think, like, geez, why are you putting this person on a pedestal? Like, I understand former and you have this great bond, But like, I almost want to say, like, the past is in the past. So, right, this person feels like they're having, they feel like they're missing something in their life, and I want to tell them, like, you're not missing anything in your life, like, you're moving forward. So what I basically told them is that, look, that the whole situation with former, and the whole situation is former, you can't change that because the ball is in former's court. You've done everything that you can, and if former wants to be this way, that's former's thing. Like, former is digging their own hole. Former has lost a really good person, and I guarantee you, my friend would have been there for former through thick and thin. But it saddens me that former's not there for my friend. It really sucks, and it's just like, I just think it's so unfair that former gets this, like, freaking glowy messiah looking light around them. And it's like, I can, I hear what's being said, and I hear it's like they're just so like, they have moments where they're really nice, but they also have moments that they're real, like a real jerk. And I just ask myself, like, why are you putting a person like that on a freaking pedestal? Like, you're just like, the other people who forgave you, it's almost like, yeah, I already have those people. They've already forgave me, but I'm just going to chase after former. And this whole situation with former didn't happen just, like, recently, okay? This has been over a year, and they're still chasing after former. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, please just stop the whole former thing. So, what I was telling them, and the reason why I show this apartment, is I said, you know what are your goals? What are your goals? And they were telling me, we were walking around Kaka'ako region, which is like a pretty, it's like a luxury high-rise apartment area. And they were like telling me, oh, I want to do this with my life. And they said, I want to live in that apartment building. So this is the apartment building. And you can see the prices over here is like $700,000 to $900,000.